Okay, morning guys. Excuse me, hope you can hear me. Let me just unmute something else. People in the live room, can you hear me? Coops, Jace, Laurent, Neil. Am I coming through okay? Okay, Bobby's in that one. So I've got a few bits and pieces. I'm trying something a bit different. We'll see how it works out. That's up and running. So I've got Trading View going. I'll minimize that actually. So I'll probably be mucking around here a bit, just trying to get myself organized. So if you ask a question I don't answer, I'll get onto it. No worries. All right, so what I'm looking at, we'll get into where are my charts here. So Dow, I was actually shorting that just in here, just didn't kick on with it. And so I was quick to get out and jumped in for a quick scalp long just to basically made a small loss and then ended up making a slightly bigger gain, but nothing much. I'm not convinced that that's not going to, well, potentially not going to roll over, but it was back about here and it sort of spiked up. This, you can see this on the 5 minute. Why is that doing weird stuff? On the 5 minute, I saw that wick up there and you can see the weakness start to come in and then it was chopping around here and it kept getting soaked up. So if, to me, I don't know if anyone's heard the term suck and soak. So sucks it down and soaks it up and ramps it up. So you know that this is enough to get shorts interested, like myself, get in and squeeze them straight back out. But whether it's going to kick on, you finding up at this zone here is still a bit of resistance. So the Dow, now there's still potentially that short, potentially the short potential for some short action. But the Dow's notorious out of hours and lately has been just ramped unless the whole market, the Hang Seng opens and collapses and it drags down, the Nikkei and SPY. Forget about the SPY, never get dragged down at the moment. But yeah, if that's the case, then the Dow's probably going to grind down with it. But at the stage, it's getting soaked up outside of hours, in the thinner markets. That was that. I was looking at the Hang Seng, sorry, the Nikkei. Thought it would get some weakness in here, but rejecting off this zone, which we sent out in the morning prep. Thought it'd back off here. Thought it would back off here again, but it is still, we're on the 5 minute chart. So it opened up here at 9:30, backed off. I thought we might get some more weakness, but instead it's just getting ramped straight back up again. So the Nikkei has been stronger than what I have expected. Now, there's a question there. No, all good. So I'm not really. I mean, there's some choppy action. It's kind of maybe we're expecting some choppy action. We'll look at the Hang Seng now. So actually, let's go into the SPY. Would not have expected that. That is a complete and utter ramp, if you ask me. If I'm saying something, that is well and truly unexpected. I don't know if anyone knows any news. The banks are getting ramped up for whatever reason. I don't know what is driven the banks to see this strength today. It's probably something I'm missing. I don't follow them as hard as I probably would have could, but I don't know what the strength is that's lifted this market up. At least the SPY anyway. It's just completely ramped. It was going to open up around 10 after this action during the session. Not much happened overnight in the US. They were lifted on the open and then sold off into the close to end up slightly. We went with them and all of a sudden we've opened up another 30 and never looked back. Well done, Jace. Good work, mate. I mean, I agree that you'd be nervous because there was no reason really, for me anyway, what I'm looking at, no reason for me to buy that apart from that breakup, which the market can flush, but then you get a couple. So you got this first 5 minute candle. When it lifts in the second 5 minute candle, you can lead to believe that that's the open at 10. And then you start get a lift if you can hold it below those candles. I mean, you had never expected that. We're potentially going to start to get a bit heavy here, but even if it sells off into the close, I don't think it's going to sell back down to 58.85. The market's up 87 points. 87 points on a nothing night, which is very unusual. You got pretty much all sectors are green, so there's a bit of a pump, I think, going on at the moment. For some reason, financials are up 3.5%. Like I said, gold's running, and gold did nothing last night. Gold stocks are running anyway, so there could be that. Yeah, and the Friday. I guess traditionally, that's probably what they're doing. They're traditionally expecting to be quiet on the Friday and then just ramped it. And they could do that with a handful of stocks. You know, if you start someone, we're up 5.2% on ANZ, don't know why. NAB, 6.3% on NAB, 3% on CBA, and 6.6% on Westpac. And they just got fined in those Delta fines. So unusual stuff from what I've seen. So we'll forget about that for now. And if you expect to be able to trade that, just forget about it, because it really is a tough gig to expect to be able to trade that upside. I mean, there's times when you could go long, it's worked out like today, but other times when you're going to go long and think the same and it just gets slammed. So it's that sort of was a luck bet. Let me just delete a few things. I'm just cleaning out, because I think I've got too many things open and I'll probably end up slowing stuff down a lot. All right, now let's it's considering enforcement against a major non-banking institutions this financial year. Okay. Unusual. Major enforcement of and they're ramping it. I did see something about banks actually, which makes a bit more sense. Something about them scrapping some labor law. I can't remember what it was, but if they're going to scrap it, that's to support the housing sector, and that makes a bit more sense why the banks are just run up. So either way, the government's just going to keep coming out and try to pump that housing market. Whether it does, it doesn't anything to the housing, but I think to the banks, it's open up. It's something to do with lending into the banks. They're scrapping that law, or they're looking to scrap that law, which I think could be why we've got a bit of a pump on at the moment. Pump and dump. It could be. Doesn't look like at the moment because it's a massive pump and probably a little dump into the close. You'll get, you watch the SPY. What we've done. We've ramped. We might get the US up tonight, and then they get dumped. Actually, we'll probably get dumped on Monday. If the US is down 500 points tonight, just seems ridiculous. Now I'll go over to the Hang Seng. Let's get that. There's 5 minutes till that opens. I'll go over this here. Let's get that there. I want the index. That there can be the futures. So the index was trading down here. The futures were trading around this zone, around 6 o'clock. So when it closed, it hasn't really lifted too much. 23,265. 265 so you expect, but if you go and look at the, let's get this market up here. At 6 o'clock close, just looking at the CFD, what's the CFD sort of planning? We were, give or take, around this level. Let's just mark that up. Around this level here. So we're on the CFD, it's looking like the market wants to factor in 60, 70 points up. And it's taking us in this resistance zone. So if we go back to the futures, another 70 points from here is, about actually back at the highs. Back at that highs just before we get the sell off into the close. So I'll go back to the 5-minute chart. I'm not seeing, we've got zones right up here. On the index, we're still a bit of a way off that zone up there from that sell-off from yesterday, which it could grind up. Would expect a bit of a flush, especially on the index, a bit of a flush if it wants to go up. A bit of a flush lower and then jam its way up. It could easily, I'm on the 30-minute chart on the Hang Seng, on the index, let's just go to a 5. It seemed to be getting supported yesterday. We had a bit of a move lower. Was that yesterday? 3 o'clock. So that was the open. That moved lower, big spike up, and then that grind into the 2 o'clock close, and then we gap down at 3 o'clock, open weaker, and then grind it up. So it looked like it was getting supported into the close at 6 o'clock. Now the futures are up slightly, so that would suggest 50, 60 point open, gap up, open on the physical index, which you could find it could be just flush up and drop again, and then drop, and then see if we can get back down into this zone. So really just waiting to see how that opens on the index, but the trend is down on the index. The trend is down on the futures, the major index. We're getting a bit of a swing up at the moment on the futures. So let's just see what is going on here. Just checking a few things. Yeah, but we'll just want to see what the first flush is, and then see if we can sort of reset at a level. Obviously we're trading with our MAs. Want to get below or something to work off. Yeah, something like this. You can get a zone which can work off it, flushes it, and then we get into the short side when it's just below that MAs. But trying to follow that longer term, that trend down. Let's just go. I'll keep it. There's no. I might delete that because there's no news out till 4. There's nothing out at 4 a.m. when we're talking about. It's today, 4 p.m. Nothing coming out. Let's get rid of that. So all I'm doing is just open up another browser. I like this setup with these MAs, so the 20 and the 50 hull with a weighted moving average. I think it's 150 weighted moving average. I like that more for your currencies. But I do like this, the 20 and the 50. What's opening up here? So yeah, it's so slow. I think I've got too many things running. Might have to delete this. All right, so another couple of minutes till it opens. The futures, we'll see what happens on the CFD. That's it there. Okay, so we're on the Hang Seng futures. Just check it out. It's a bit of a whip fest in there, but that latest trend is just up, and if it starts to lift, you can look at the actual index itself too. Just coming to the close, the 5-minute had a bit of a pop into that close there. So like I said, we expect that this the index, once it opens, we're going to make back some of those losses because the US wasn't, they didn't do too bad last night, and everything's holding up not too bad. No. Oh, okay, it is, Bobby. Oh God, I mean they're doing a Trump. Let's whack it out just before the market opens. That's a good idea. Everyone's sitting there watching why the market. So I'm sure someone knew that beforehand. Right people in the right places would have known that. Um, all right, let's get rid of that. No, I'll keep that for a second. It's 89 points. That's just phenomenal. They're still going. I was expecting maybe that grind up. They probably grind all day. I wouldn't say that news is going to be sold into the close. I sort of expect that to at least flounder. Might have a bit of a flush down and pop back up again on most of on the banks anyway. Okay, let's just get. Mm, yep, things are a bit slow today. Streaming left, right, and centre. So I might I'll get rid of this one. I'll get rid of that one. I don't want too many things open. Hmm. See the open, it's just got this little pop down. You can see that's the close. Sorry, forget about me. All right, so the market's open. Let's just get back to that. It's very slow. So it's holding up around these highs. So whether we get a bit of a, I think it's dead. It's not moving, is it? No, now it's good. It's catching up. Hmm. I don't know if my computer can cope. Hmm. Why is that not right? You watch. I reckon I'm going to crash. I'll close that down. Hmm. I think my browser needs a clean. Let's just do that. I think it's just stalling. Now I can remember how to do these settings. So I'll just clean it up and see if it helps. So guys, just be a moment. Blank charts now. Hmm. Right, let's get the Dow up. So still got a bit to the. So the market's still chopping around by the looks of it, which is okay. Let's quickly set up. We just do that now. We set up that chart. Oh, it's not that. color coding. And one more. All right. One more. Like this here too. All right, so call that. Awesome. Can't spell my name. Yeah, I think I've just got too many things open, to be honest. I don't remember how to do it now. Right, that's nine. Right, now let's just go get that other chart up. Is anyone in anything at the moment, or? Right, so that's the hang saying good. So very bad. I think my computer's having a bad day. So it's still hanging up there, isn't it? All right, so look at that. That's spiking, Dow, running. You could be forgiven to go long Dow. I mean, look at that. That could kick on, especially the Nikkei going. I might give that another little nudge. I don't think it's got ahead of itself really either. It's just you come into these previous highs, which is could be a bit of an issue. This zone through here might provide some sort of resistance. Not much on the Nikkei. It looks like it's going to, that's what happens. That's right. I hate that. It's a major pitfall in these charts. Let's just see the index, what's happening with the index for the futures. The Hang Seng still look like they're happy to hover up here. What am I getting up? Oh, one more chart up. Probably slow things right down, but we'll see. Yeah, yes. I think because we've got kids home as well, everyone's on the internet, and I've got more programs than I normally have open. It's killing it. Stay still. All right. I think I am now officially prepared. So let's just get back onto, that's the index there. So we're expecting that to, it's all running slow, isn't it? Expecting that to pop up, which is looking like to around 425. You can see this now, it's just getting that pre-match up here, which is from that close. 120 points or so, which is pretty strong. Now let's just see what we've got in the way of resistance. Let's spit that out. The Hang Seng, we've still got some, we get over to the futures here. Futures are going to give me a better understanding of what's happening. So we've got back to the 30 I want to get on. Really not much. We've got the day's highs. This sort of breakdown here. That was from that yesterday's session. It's launched up a bit, looking like it's going to open. It's going to be a bit hot. Sorry, it's going to open around these highs. You can see where it is at the moment, 439, and it's just popped up slightly on that open as well since 11:15. So really, it's hovering around here, which is probably bringing in line to. I've got a weird spot on my computer. This is frustrating. What's going on here? You can see what I'm saying there. So that's got that potentially we're just going to pop up into that resistance zone. So we're just open on the Hang Seng, the index itself. It's open and it's just pressuring up, basically back into that support zone. Resistance, support becomes resistance, so on. Potentially see if that happens. Let's go back to the daily. I just need a clearer picture again. That's the breakdown we're looking at. So there's a chance that we hold within this range of the previous day's candle, or it might just be a very narrow range day. Another chop session, but I want to see if we can get something on the downside, I think. So let's just go over to, we'll go onto the 5 minute here. Just see what's going to happen here. It's rejection up near these highs. I don't think I'll be able to trade like this, to be honest. So that was a day session, so I'm not too concerned. That's 11 o'clock. These are the last few candles, the ones to worry about. So remember, that's your CFD pricing that was around, was in here. So somewhere in here, which it's already taken out the overnight highs. Okay, so that's the, sorry, the overnight highs are right here, aren't they? Because that was prior. But anything after here is just CFD pricing. So we sort of open back up the highs, and then we're just backing off a bit now. But whether or not it can get a run on from here, I'm not going to bet on it because these EMAs are still flat. It could just have a bit of a spike down to these close and then bounce. I mean, we'll just see. The index itself looks like it's just turning negative. Well, it is just turning negative. It might drive back down, so you might get this push down to the close. Anyone gets short, how's your 30-second chart going? Jay's got that open. What I might do, anyone that's watching through YouTube, I might just close that browser. So if you do pop up with any chat comments, I won't be able to see it, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry about that. If you need to get onto Discord, you're more than welcome to jump on. It'll just take a second. I can send you out a link. But just, yeah, let me know. I think having all this data, streaming into YouTube and streaming on, what do you call it, Trading View, pushing it to Trading View, and then actually hitting up onto Discord as well. I think there's just so many things going in and out. So I'll close that down, that browser down, so I don't have to worry about the data coming in. Hmm. Okay, so the 5, I think the trend is still down. Well, on the futures it will be, or flattening out. This one's flattened out a bit. Got the open, 11.15 here. That's the open. We've got MO's popped up. Sorry, market's popped up, rejected these highs. Doesn't mean it can't, flush the low and then rocket up again. So we'll just bear that in mind. Now, if it comes up and starts to fail again, we'll see if this index wants to roll back down again. But that index, it's gapped up and it seems to be chopping around here. It does the usual thing. It might pop up into new highs and then fail. We're just going to see what the 5-minute does. If we get some more selling pressure into that high, day's high, and we might get this kind of 11.15. So I'll just mark that up too, so don't forget it. That's the opening candle. Looking for something to see just what happens up at those highs. But it's, to me, that on the 5, it's a little bit extended down. You want to see some sort of lower volatility. I mean, that was a good, in hindsight, I mean, it's a one candle trigger, trying to get short off that 5-minute candle, which would have been, what's it, 11.25. So it was this candle, and then you sort of the break of that candle, I think break of that open, which was about here. You can see on the one which to me is not a, that's not the world's best, but it did play out all right. We'll just see if it can get up and what happens back at these highs. We're going to reject at these highs because it's a good candle down. It took out, from 75, 475 to 389. It's nearly 100 points. Quick plunge lower, nearly 100 points. Why would a green candle? And this one's moving. Awesome. Oh, it's going down, isn't it? Why am I getting this? All right, it's annoying. So this is well and truly delayed. Seen another live price, which is, we're down here now. So that's not right. 36. So the market's actually heading south, so we'll see if it can just drop a bit more on that last candle. I think it's caught up there, so that's right. No, it's not. We're balancing up at the moment. See, I think this is wrong. It's like 39. It's just ticked over, so that's a minute slow. All right. So these are wrong. I'm going to close that down. It's annoying. bear with me a sec, guys. I'm just going to keep an eye on this index here. Just going to open up my, see if this works. So the index is sort of gapped up, it's grinding down, it's not showing anything, it's not been too precious about to move down. Hmm. What else is playing around? No, it's a bit of a grind at the moment, so the ones just sort of flush the. I'll get it up in a second. I don't know if this is going to be better. Yeah, there we go. So we're a bit stretched in the 5 on the downside. I mean, not that I see this as a big support. Could easily go lower. The momentum's down. You've got the it's a bit of a grind. So this could grind through the lows, pop back up. I don't like this actually sitting on top of that hull again. It looks like it just wants to get supported, and that's got probably more to do with just a bit of a grind down on the index itself. There's no real, for me, entry off that candle there. So am I up to date on that? 46, yep, right candle. A bit of a bounce off that zone. So it'd be interesting to see if we get back up this high. I mean, I don't think we will. It's just it seems to be a bit of a flush. You got the index starting to make a move. It's a bit where we can't just take off to the upside. It's big rejection. I don't. One could go ploughing through. So you got this bit of a rejection up here. So if that one goes, it could just go straight through. We've rejected that 5 minute candle. It looks like it's coming down. Now, if we open and we start to, it could just flush. So be wary because we've got this 5. Looks like it wants to, but it's a horrible candle. Yeah, it's still messy, that one there, isn't it? This candle finish in a few minutes and just see. I'm not expecting a break of that there. Say 65 sort of thing. But don't like how that's curved up and come straight back down. I'd rather see it could just get. Just watch that. If it breaks at these lows, it could just flush lower, a lot lower, which means this is sort of heading south. But hard when that trend is up, sort of rolling, and you get this pullback. So we're sort of looking at the index pulling back. So really, it could be a buying soon. These are rolling over. This comes below, so 64 could be a short. So probably short it there and just see. It's not happy about it, though, still, is it? So we want something like that, flush. I'm short now. See if you can flush lower. Stop. It's not doing it. It's getting soaked up there. Yeah, it's getting soaked up pretty easily, actually. You need it to continue lower soon. The trend on the one is down. It's rolling. It's just, you see they're soaking it, and I don't really want it to get through. That's probably got to do with this index. If we can grind that a bit more, we should get something in it, but it just doesn't like it to pop. So I've got that level there, but I don't think it's actually a level. So I already get stopped. So I've got a 40-point stop, which takes me just about here. So I'll get nabbed soon. We can hold in here and just flush lower, which I'm kind of skeptical of now because that is a grind. That's a grind down. Yep, done. Out. So far, not so good. So this sort of grind line, I think it could spike. Just want this index to do something. Grindy action from the open is just a frustrating thing. All right, that's it there. So you remember it's starting, it's bringing some liquidity on the long side. Sorry, on the short side. It was sort of shorting it, and that's a good candle there, but well, we'll see. We'll see. So wrong side short there. And that was going against the flow here, obviously. Thought that 5 might have spiked down, but it's getting wicked up the top, wicked down below, which if it wicks again and we start to get something on the 1 which looks like it could roll up, then it could actually put the squeeze on the upside. But, the reasoning for getting in, that was okay. That was a little spike down. It just didn't go anywhere. And that trends down. So I think that it's getting soaked. They're going to grind it down and soak it, and maybe we get a spike. Turn the light on so I can see. Yeah, let's drive it back down. Still some salads through here, isn't there? It's not at all frustrating, is it? Just about seems like it's going to lift off the low again, but that five's not really saying anything. I'll probably go long in a second. There it goes. Ooh. No. Thought that was going to pop. Looks like it's just still chopping. The chance it still wants to go just after that little rush and flush. So I thought that was going to pop, then nothing. It's only going to go long on that break then. The thing is now this could just chop around here and hold below this MOs and flush down through this low on the index itself, 82. So I still think it's still short bias on the 5. It's hanging in below that MAs. Just keeps getting popped. I think it's just patience until something happens. Yeah. So candle's got about a minute to go on the 5. The Hang Seng just lacks lately. It's just been lacking a bit of oomph. What have we got here? Yeah, looking a bit heavy. That one wants to make me go long. Your buyers coming in here on the 5, but Spike and size, so it should. What's the index doing? Hmm. Not much day. Looks like it wants to go, doesn't it? You're going to stop. So now that's getting held up there. I want to see if this can kick on. See if we can attack the highs and see what happens up at the highs. So that 5 looks like it wants to go. The index has popped back up. It'll probably grind down. Very tough gig at the moment. Again, resistance up there. Distinct lack of bulls around, and the bears are not too convinced either. So we're flicking above and below the MAs, which is frustrating. There's no real. That's because that MAs is down. We're down here on the 5, and we're up on the 1. So I'm wondering whether it needs to pop down. It needs to hold, and then it could run. I mean, this could easily run, slam up through 34. I think that's a dumb thing to do because Looks like this could plant down if it holds this zone. I'm really going to flush this high. So that index, sorry, the 5-minute candle still got a few minutes to go. Looks like it's holding below that, doesn't it now? Wanting to head back down to 92. I think this candle finishes here, is it? 1150. Five minutes going to finish in a second. So if we slam down here, it could be a sell. Or not. So you got knocked back down then. They're fighting it. This could reverse, so well not. Still fighting that rally, so the way this is curving up, you sort of feel it's going to slam through that low. A bit of a cold snap. Some cold weather around here. Feet are freezing. Yeah, I love the chop in these markets lately. It's going to pop. See the looks like potentially getting some weakness off the top here. It's like you could sit around forever waiting for that. Just that inside level's been tested. Touched there on the way down. Come back up, retest it, failed off it, tried it again. So there's a potential that we take out this low, we could roll back down to these lows. This is the Dow. This sort of level in here. It's at 52. The old Hang Seng's still grinding up. So if I don't want to see, this candle push down and it can pop back up. It just could sweep in some of these longs that built up. I'd rather see something chop around here and then an inside candle maybe reject through these highs. So now we've got, now we've got anyone that sold it down from that level before, are they going to step back in and protect it? And is it worth a short? Jace, just down in 7 a.m. 18 degrees. I'd be happy it was 18 degrees, Bobby. I'm down in Melbourne, well, just outside Bendigo. Moved out to a bit of a country vibe. Wife got a good job, just working from home. So, yeah, winters can get fairly cold, but summers can get warm. It's a bit of a rejection off that high. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a nice quiet area. It kind of suits me. Dan Andrews. Everyone knows Dan. God, Danny boy. Got rejection off of those highs. Well, just those MAs are up, so we're sort of going against the flow, really. Index is grinding up. Dow's just popped up to the highs, just following following the Hang Seng. There's no conviction down here, isn't it? This little grind down could smack up. So that might just be squeezing. It's sort of bought up here, a bit of a squeeze, but we're not. Let's see what happens on this candle. See if we hover, which is going to finish in about a minute. It might flush and then drop through. Oh, it's going to drop now, is it? Bloody candles. Yeah, I think it's probably the only thing to trade at the moment. So whether we get this roll, we come back down to the lows at 58. So I'm looking at the low of this candle here, around 29.30. I don't want it to get too high because your risk is sort of all over the place. There's stuff in it there, aren't they? All right, I'm short. And very aggressive, but no real follow through there. Get down another 10 points or so. I think it's just clean out some of these longs. Need to slam down. It's just got to squeeze. Probably come down about here by double O. If it does anything at all. Concern is just holding in here. It's 5 minutes expanding, so I'm going to try to focus on that one. You can see they're trying to nab it up. Mm. It's not showing the weakness I thought it could. This candle will finish soon. I just want to see if it can. Yeah, it's getting bored up. All right, awesome. So I'm going to crack below. Trying to go. So I'll be out in a second if this pops. So that's not what I really wanted to see. Started to stall here. I thought that would have expanded. So what I was looking for was this candle because it's sort of curving back up. I mean, we could pop and then roll. We've reacted off that zone. So I'm out basically up a couple of points. You can see this index. I mean, it looks like now we've got up the high. If we're going to roll, it's going to probably do a bit of work. I can't expect that that's grinding up and we're going to come back, slamming down. I mean, it could happen, but it's not something that's the most likely case. So, yeah, 5 minutes. Sorry, I just got to type something out. Yeah, I was just thinking about re-entering through there, but I just don't believe now that we've sort of popped up here, thinking we're going to get support and we'll start to curve. It's just a choppy day again. There's nothing clear. It is because trading the edges just doesn't look. Trading that short was just not right. You can see it jumping it. Got short in here on the shoulder, and it's just seemed to be pausing. You want to see it slam if you're on the right side, you should know it pretty quick, in my opinion. But instead, you've got this grind down. Look, we probably another retest up and hold could be good, but I don't think it's going to slam down through those lows. There's a chance they get put under pressure soon. Just not seeing that this. I mean, I'm probably going to be proven completely wrong now. And the Hang Seng used to spit out, 20, 30, 40 pip moves pretty quickly. Now it's just giving you a few before it's grinding. It's very unusual. Oh, so actually, should just see where other markets are. God, that's frustrating too. It's going now. Short it here, you can guarantee there'll be a pop enough to get you out. The euro could have given a right to 30 actually on these. Pound doesn't look too crash hot. I mean, we've had that leg down here, it's chopping around here. I wouldn't expect that we're going to go down again. It's like asking something like that, which could easily do. But yeah, yes, we could pop up through 128.80, test back up to these highs. That held up. The pound held up better than the euro under that dollar pressure. So the dollar was heading high and the pound was sort of just chopping around in here. It was held constantly high, whereas the euro was sort of constantly going down, and then it spiked once the US dollar dropped. Oh, I should have stayed short. Don't want to look at it again. Yeah, well, I'm just going to do around here. Start testing that. They're going to support it. That 30's come right back, isn't it? That's close to 100 pips in that. No, nice, Chase. Chance we get up at these lows. Yeah, you still got this downtrend. There's a chance it just blows down to another 100 points. I'm not going to bank on it because this is a horrible market. It's a grind. Oops. If we start holding up, this could just pop. Again, it's like reject these lows, but Let me just see what the what am I looking for? So Dow's just broken down a bit. It's broken that level we're talking about. It's in here. I don't think. I mean, that's a grind too. So everything's a grind today. It's just it doesn't make a lot of sense to dive in heavy on either side, or to looking for trend trades. I mean, looking for this to break down on the downside. Look, could do it. It just doesn't make sense that I've been grinding so far. Why are we going to roll? Watch this Dow. This Dow punch up. It's starting to flush up. It's trying to anyway. So now we sort of had a good push up here. We might start to find a bit of a base and expand back up. But I don't know if I'll be getting back to this high anytime soon. Looks like the index itself is kind of range bound. New Zealand market up 74. Doing not much. So Dow's has broke that level. It's just bounced back as well, along with this Hang Seng. Don't know which one's leading which, but I'm just assuming it's the Hang Seng. They tend to move around the way they want. Very much a lack of aggression on it. It's these moves like that. This is a bit choppier. Up, straight down, and there's a chance that we just do that chop, 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 all the way back up, sort of that. Maybe, maybe not, back up to this zone. You want to see some evidence that, I don't know, maybe we're going to get a breakdown, maybe we're going to get, something getting supported here off a higher low and closing back in again. Because the MAs are still, to me, you can see the 5 minute. No, actually, let's just get on the futures, see if that looks a bit different. So that 5 minutes up, we've got this choppy zone up here, chop up near the highs. So that's come right back down to this MA. So MAs are starting to flatten out on the 5. So it depends whether we're just going to keep doing that for the rest until 2 o'clock. Just go up, start squeezing in, and then we do something later on. I don't think this kind of expansion down, we'll see much of that into the close. I mean, could. There's a reason that this could be a high and we slam down, but where am I? Not seeing any prime set up, to be honest. This move's probably just flushing. So how we've just ticked through that high of the last 5-minute candle. You do that a lot, and it comes down, and then you you go, okay, take out the low, and it goes up. It's still, I mean, for me, if we could take out that low and start to run lower, the one's not showing it. That's a problem. So as a setup, potential short on the 5, but we're up against this zone here, and everyone knows it. Which you were you're looking to sell into that. They'll chip you in straight back out again. So the Dow's going now. It's just popping up. That flush head south could be a reluctant to short it after that move down, but MA's are down. MA's are down. Love to get it at 66 though, and then it just goes down to double O, which would mean a break at this little inside level here. It could be a shoulder, but you see it's still choppy there. That's what concerns me. It's just got more of that chop. We sort of go dunk and back up again. We're just doing this. We're pushing, 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 and then it pops. Just keep an eye on that. It's got me, just this action, if it doesn't lift, it's sort of got me thinking we've got this up here selling. What back up, retest and fail? And if we hold this here as a lower high, there's a chance we can get, a rush lower. I was about a second from closing it, hitting that short. So That was a close one, wasn't it? Close call in there. Yeah, it looks like it wants to lift on this 1 minute. Still finding some sellers. Just the fact that it's come down, it's come down here and it's chopping around here. Potentially for it to roll, but you know, probably be short in a minute. And I can hear that I'm not that convinced. Let's just think we're going to get, these chop candles. I'm sure I'll probably pick the bloody low. Right, I'm short. And got the low. We can take out these lows. This index is broken down a bit. Just need it to expand. There we go. Oh, maybe not. So this candle's going to finish the 5 minute candle, but sort of looks like it wants a hold there. Wouldn't mind seeing the next one plow through, not stop. index is selling down, so why aren't we moving on this? Feeling that we're going to get the same old scenario, are we? So that's down, so the index is sort of selling, but not any joy yet. Okay, if it's not through there, we'd be happy. Just don't think it's going to do it, to be honest. That one looks kind of like we're going to smash up again, which means it will close it in a second. Very much algo driven, these markets, I think, at the moment. Just not feeling that they're sort of chipping. It's just a mess. You have to bail on this in a minute. Yeah, that's a decent rally for. Yeah, this is horrible. busted in a minute. That's it. See you, Joy. Yep. It's a bit of a brutal chop. But, yeah, nothing to me saying. So you can see when it's going down, it's kind of getting soaked, and I'm not liking that feel. It's going to do this grindy chop chop, and it seems like it just wants to chop both sides of the market out. Like people get short in here, they get clean back up. It's, then you get long in here, you get sort of do euphoria and get clean back up. If that's the case, you should go down. But see, it's a very much a grind down. You can see this one sort of looks like it wants to, but it's not. It's not giving me any love. This five is they're trying to support it off this level. Set going, I'm going to grab some water, just be a tick, put you on mute. Sorry, I was just getting myself organised with the kids. So yeah, got done on that short as well. I took it out just when we got started lifting here because that should have gone. We're starting to hold up here, but that looks like it wants to go up. But we've got to get a bit of a flush up. This is what had me concerned when I was trading it. Let me just show you. Got this line here. That's what was short was. I think it was in here. Yeah, and that expansion down, it broke down there and it kept chopping around here and we sort of grinding back up. Now, that shouldn't happen. What we've just done is now potentially we're just going to flush that level and we could head south again, but it's kind of this wavy action. Which if you're going to short in here, it falls short here, and then you go long and it sort of falls short there. There's not enough meat in those moves, in these little swings. And we had the Dow, I think, was just kicking up. Did anyone see that? So it's frustrating. So when the Dow was sort of breaking in here, pop, straight back in that resistance zone. We've got Nikkei. Everything seems to be getting supported. I mean, it's now, what, 112, and it looks like we're going to do absolutely nothing on this index. I think I've had a couple of chops, which is so that's what leads me to believe it. A lot of just choppy algo action when it does this. There's no direction. It's just setting up and then straight back again, setting up, taking out this high, straight down again. That's not your typical. That's not your typical trading. Good work, Bobby. Oh, well done, mate. Good luck. Hope you do well. Yeah, good luck, mate. Sorry, I was just staring again at this at the market there. It seems to be the only action you're going to get is out of hours. Seems to be everyone's so focused on the US and they're so focused on just buoying the market, which any sort of sell off like yesterday. I mean, it actually opened. I think it opened down on the market Nasdaq and that yesterday, and then got popped straight back up again. So I just better make sure I've got trading view going. I'll probably knock it on the head for trading view, guys. So nothing today. Small win, a couple of small losses. Just seems to be pointless. So all right, have a good day, guys, on trading view anyway, and I'll stop the stream on YouTube. We'll just keep this Discord going. So speak to you later.